Prime Minister of Australia decided that the great day to announce a Palestinian state would be Erev Rosh Hashanah, giving the Jewish community a wonderful Rosh Hashanah gift. Sarcasm intended. My message to the Prime Minister and to other world leaders is that the well-being of your own countries is not decided by yourselves even. It's decided by Hashem and based on our prayers in synagogue on Rosh Hashanah, where we said, concerning countries, judgment is pronounced on this day, which for war and which for peace, which for famine, and which for plenty. That is where the blessings to a country come from. And as far as the Jewish people are concerned, well, my little 2-year-old grandson comes home from Ganenu, from our preschool, singing, dip the apple in the honey, make a bracha loud and clear. He says it so beautifully. Why do we dip apple in honey? Apple is sweet and honey is sweet, but there's a very big difference between the sweetness of the apple and the sweetness of honey. You see, apple is a sweetness that doesn't last very long, but honey is sweetness that represents eternity. I believe in 1922 they opened up the tomb of King Tut, and there was a jar, besides gold and gems that were there was also a small jar. And tasting it, it was actually honey, and it was as fresh as honey is. Remarkable, because that's the character of honey. It's considered permanent sweetness. And I think it's a good representation. You see, the apple, it doesn't last very long, its sweetness. And because of that, it kind of ferments right away, becomes brown. Honey lasts a lifetime and much more than that. And what it represents is this different kind of sweetness. This is sweetness that are temporary. It's a sweetness that we get a kick in a moment. And right now it's the fad and it's of interest. And it might be a craze I have at this moment. I'll give me a kick of sweetness for the moment. But later, it might be quite bitter. That decision I made might be very, very bad for me and for my life, for my position, for my family, etc. Honey, on the other hand, represents a sweetness of love that lasts, of friendships that are based on loyalty and commitment, of relationships that are steadfast and could stand the test of time. It also represents the morals and ethics that are permanent, the Torah values that last forever, that are not limited to particular times and what is popular in any moment of time. I saw a beautiful thought, and I shared it with my community on Rosh Hashanah, where imagine, there's this betting meter in sports. So you could bet on one side or the other, and as one team scores, the odds of that team winning grow and grow and grow. So if you were betting man when Moses is put into the Nile, and you wanted to bet Egyptians versus the Jewish people, you would go 99 Egypt, 1% the Jewish people. If you were the time of Queen Esther, and the decree has fallen upon the Jewish people, and Esther now takes action. At that moment, you might say, Persia, Haman, 99, the Jewish people, 1. If you were talking about the time of the destruction of the temple, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai comes to Vespasian, who is tasked with the destruction, and asks him to save one community of Torah scholars. And who would you put your bet? 99% on Rome, 1% on the future of Judaism. And so on and so forth throughout our history. Be it right before the 6-Day War, when all the Arab armies were going to gang up and destroy the nascent Jewish state. You would have gone 99 on the Arabs, 1% on the Jewish state. But we're the honey. We're the ones who are sweet in the long bow of history. And so, indeed, Prime ministers can say what they want. The Jewish people are the people of destiny, the people that Hashem has chosen to live through all the vicissitudes of life and be the guide and those that are the light unto the nations. And we will be that. We will continue to be that. So you could say what you like. The destiny of the Jewish people, even the destiny of your own countries, are not in your own hands. They're in the hands of Hashem. We have to know that. And know one last thing. This week, this year, in Hebrew, is Tafshin Pei Vav. My son told me, gave me a beautiful insight. Tafshin Pei Vav, in our prayers and our liturgy, could be used for the words Poida Umatzel. Teishnas Poida Umatzel. May this be a year where Hashem redeems and He saves. May He redeem and save the hostages. May He redeem and save each and every one of us from the difficulties that we have in our own lives, from our challenges, from the anti-Semitism that's all around us, and from our own personal weakness and short-sightedness. Paido Matzel, He redeems us and saves us. May He redeem and save the entire Jewish world and bring about the coming of Mashiach now. May this year be the year of Paida Umatzel. Hashem redeems, Hashem saves. He will certainly do so for Am Yisrael, because Am Yisrael Chai.